Do you feel that there's perceptual heaviness in other music genres other than the metal genre?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you can find heaviness in like some really crusty punk from the 80s that's not chug 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 or blast beats or death metal vocals, but it's like some of that early stuff that was almost like part of the grindcore scene is still heavy in a different way. And I'm sure there's, I mean, even like jazz, sometimes that stuff's like the really modern stuff where they're like screeching away on a saxophone. It's like, yeah, that's heavy, but in a ear-piercingly like chaotic way. And yeah, that heaviness can take on so many different forms. And I think to me as a kid, when I was, like 13, getting into Slipknot, that was so heavy. And they got me into a lot of death metal stuff that they're name dropping interviews. But there's a heaviness to death metal that sometimes doesn't have the intensity and aggression that Slipknot had, who were, lumped in with new metal at the time. And there's something to be said for both. There's a heaviness to just being like a death metal band and everything's heavy, but sometimes it's not captured with the intensity of a band like Slipknot, where it just sounds like they are genuinely angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reflecting on you listening to metal when you were a kid, what was the sort of psychology of that time? Like, what was the effect the music had on you with these different bands? We're talking about these different forms of heaviness. How did it sort of impact you as a listener from a sort of an emotional kind of perspective?
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. I had like I think a really great childhood, but when you're a teenager, I don't know if it's just your emotions or just an excited feeling. But I remember Slipknot, the first record in particular. I mean, the first two records were big for me, but The Great Southern Trendkill by Pantera, like there was just a feeling of like energy, and I just wanted to like trash my bedroom to it. Not out of anger, just because I was just like pumped up by the music, and I still find that, that's something that I kind of like always try and find. And more recently, I found like when writing music that, as most people in bands these days will sit at a computer writing music, that I've started to try and just like stand up and play guitar and try and like feel it a bit more than just focus in on that sort of thing. So there is like a physical element to heavy music, and you want to feel that sort of excitement or reaction when writing it or performing it, or as a listener, like it's fun when you get like hairs on the back of your neck stand up because something so like you can feel something heavy coming, or